So in the last couple of weeks, we've noticed that the market has shifted just a little bit. And so what that means is that we're still very much in a seller's market. It's still super competitive for buyers, but we're just starting to notice a couple of changes. One thing that I notice is that my clients are offering less in due diligence and getting the house anyway. And that is really great news. Part of the reason why we're offering less in due diligence, honestly, is out of my own stubbornness. And I tell my clients, the only way that this market-driven term of due diligence, the only way it's going to change is if people stop doing it. If we continue to pay 10% down in due diligence, then it's never going to change. So we need to start driving that down. So I've given my buyers the advice recently that they offer 2%, 3%, 5% if it's a super competitive situation. And I really put it in the position of the seller that if they want more due diligence, I want them to come ask me for it. Now there's a lot of nuance to that. If we are in a really competitive situation and the client really wants the house, we're going to be aggressive with DD. But if it's a less competitive situation, or if the buyer really likes the house, but if they don't get this one, it's okay to them because their timeline allows for that, then we can kind of roll the dice. And the great news is that all my clients that have gone under contract this year have gotten either their first or second house. And a lot of them are putting, I think one person even put 1% down in due diligence. Again, that's a stubborn, bold move in this market, but he got the house anyway. So I'm excited to see that number sort of coming out of the stratosphere and maybe sort of trending back towards real life. Another thing that I'm starting to see is that houses are staying on market a little bit longer. And so what I mean by that is this time last year, homes were going active on Thursday or Friday, and they were under contract Saturday night. Sometimes they weren't even making it out of coming soon. And again, we still see this in some parts of the triangle, but I'm seeing homes last till Sunday or even Monday. In one case, I saw a house last till Tuesday. And there's a couple of things that you can kind of unpack from that situation. It might mean that, I think this is true, some buyers are a little nervous with the change in interest rates. So maybe some buyers are just kind of taking a pause, which means there's fewer buyers on the market, which means, maybe the seller's getting fewer offers than they expected to when they started talking to their listing agent a month ago, when people were still getting 10 or 12 offers. Now the opening weekend comes and the seller's only getting a few offers and maybe they're kind of lackluster. I could imagine a seller in that situation waiting a few extra days to see what happens versus a seller, being inundated in 24 hours with 25 offers. It's a little bit different right now. I think also listing agents are probably being very bold with their list prices, and because maybe that list price was sort of set before the last couple of weeks have happened with this interest rate change. And now again, buyers are pausing. So when you kind of create doubt or pause in the market, prices come down. And the way that prices come down often is in the form of longer days on market, which gives the buyer a little bit more leverage than we're used to them having in the last couple of months, which therefore means higher days on market, maybe a little bit lower sale price than the seller might have been expecting initially. So a little bit longer days on market. I mean, not long. When I first became an agent, homes would stay on the market 2 or 3 weeks, maybe longer. But a year ago, they were lasting 2 days. So seeing 4 days on market is a big change for buyers. And it's a big change in my world. It says a lot. And then the other thing that I'm starting to see, and this is kind of an extension of what I just said, is that my buyers are getting under contract offering maybe 5, 6, 7% over list price, which is a huge change. This time last year, I was telling people, don't even bother writing an offer. I said it nicer than this, but don't even bother. Don't expect to get the house unless you're putting 10% down in due diligence and at least 10% over list price. Now I'm telling them offer 5 or 6% over, 5 or 6% over list. But we're really studying the data when I give them that advice. There's so much nuance to what I'm saying. There's no hard and fast rule. in this market right now, we've really got to look at the specific property in the specific neighborhood, the specific zip code, all of that stuff. And I give my clients all that data so that we can make our best estimate. But what I'm finding, however, is that my clients who are offering a little bit less, like I said, they're still getting their first or second house. They're successful anyway. And that's really exciting news for buyers.